Hello, everybody. Alrighty then. So, welcome to the Mikestand. I hope everybody's having a good day today. Of course, today is Tuesday, July the 30th, 2024. Of course, we'll give people a chance to come in. Hopefully, everybody's having a good day today. So, before we talk about what's on tap for tonight, as I said, we'll give people a chance to come in. Hopefully, everybody having a good week thus far. As today is Tuesday, July 30th, and we're just a couple days away from the beginning of August. So, um, all right. So, anyways, if you guys haven't already, of course, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer the questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So yeah, and look that we have a third person in here, so that's good. Um, all right, so I guess I'll just go ahead and start talking about what's on tap for tonight because we do have somebody else here with us. Um, so tonight we'll be going over a couple articles from Bounding into Comics, more anime related, of course. One of them was actually an article I was going to try to get to last night, but unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties at the beginning, so it didn't get going as much until later. So we're going to talk a little bit about. It's been 5 years since the tragic arson fire at Kyoto Animation, marking 5 years. Of course, Kyoto Animations has erected a monument to those who lost their lives on that fateful day. We'll be looking at that article. Also, apparently, on the English, um, from what I read here, let's see, Sentai Filmworks completely botches English localization of 2.5 dimensional seduction anime. So we'll look at that. Of course, we'll also have the wrestling wrap up. We'll talk a little bit about last night's Raw, which was the go home Raw before this Saturday's SummerSlam. Talk a little bit about what's on tap for tomorrow night's AEW Dynamite, as well as talking about what's going down on tonight's NWA Power as well on the CW on their app. So, and of course, at the end of the show, we'll have, of course, this day in each history, looking back at some key points on this date in each history. So, with that being said, why don't we go ahead and get started then? As I said, if you haven't already, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. Let me just take care of something here real quick. See if All right. So with that being said, now let's get into the first article here that I was talking about. One in regards to Kyoto Animation here. All right. So Kyoto Animation erects monument honoring victims of tragic 2019 arson attack. Article by Jorge Arenas, published yesterday. All right, so let's get into this. This month marks 5 years since the devastating arson attack on Kyoto Animation. Producers of movies such as A Silent Voice, Free, and others, along with a number of different animes as well. The attack resulted in the death of 36 employees and left a mark on anime fans across the globe. On July 14th, a monument was dedicated as a place of remembrance and reflection. In remembrance of the victims. All right, so see if any. Again, feel free to comment and or ask questions if anything here grabs your attention, guys. Or that the monument is located in Uji within Kyoto Prefecture. This is the same area where Kyoto Animation is based. It stands nearly 10 feet tall and was designed with input from Kyoto Animation artists. It features 36 white birds spiraling towards toward the heavens that symbolizes each victim of the tragedy. The dedication ceremony on July 14th was attended by 93 individuals, many of whom were family members of the victims. The inscriptions on the monument are deeply moving, stating passing dreams and passion, quote, passing dreams and passion from one person to the next, unquote, and, quote, limitless dreams told through animation. In every line drawn, years of cultivated talent and profound sentiment. From here in Uji, Kyoto, they spread out into the world, taking wing toward our uninterrupted future, unquote. And there's the design of the birds right there. The top of the Kyoto Animation Memorial, erected in remembrance of the artifacts. If anybody. Again, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the question to the best of my ability. So, getting back to the material, getting back to the article here. The monument's home. While the original studio site has been demolished, the monument finds its home within the T and Uji History Park. In parentheses here, Ocha to Yuji no Machi Rikishi Koen in Japanese. It is adjacent to Uji Station. Kyoto Animation has requested that visitors to the monument refrain from leaving flowers or other offerings. This request is likely intended to respect the daily lives of residents and maintain the serene atmosphere of the park. July 18th, 2019. So that was the actual date of the attack. So we're going to be reminded a little bit about what happened on that fateful day 5 years ago. The arson attack on July 18th, 2019 shocked the world. It also highlighted the vulnerability of creative spaces. The dedication of this monument serves as a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring impact of those who lost their lives. The studio, known for its high-quality animation and storytelling, has continued to produce beloved works honoring the legacy of its fallen members. Now, for those of you, I don't know if they're going to get to this, so I'm just going to explain it now. For those of you who don't know what happened, there was a person who claimed that there were people at Kyoto Animation who were basically plagiarizing or stealing his work. And so he decided, unfortunately, he decided this in this very extreme manner by setting the building ablaze with people in it to basically try to get his respect, as it were, I guess. The creation of the monument involved the significant input from Kyoto Animation artists, ensuring that it reflects the spirit and vision of the studio. The white birds are a powerful symbol of hope and continuity, representing the dreams and passions of that continue to inspire future generations. A request of the public. The public is welcome to visit the T and UG History Park to view the monument. While there, they can reflect on the lives and contributions of the victims. However, visitors are asked to respect the studio's request to avoid leaving offerings. And of course, as stated earlier in the article here, offerings means like flowers, pictures, that kind of thing. I know in a lot of places it's customary, when you're paying your respects to leave some kind of momentum, whether it's usually flowers or pictures or some personal item of a particular individual, but they're requesting people do not do that. If anybody in Kyoto who happens to be visiting Kyoto Prefecture is watching this video, keep that in mind. In remembering the Kyoto animation tragedy, the monument stands not only as a tribute to those who perished, but also as a testament to the resilience of the creative community. It embodies the ongoing influence of Kyoto Animation's work and unbroken spirit of the artists and fans worldwide. Yes, and mind you, again, Kyoto Animation's done a lot of, given us a lot of work. So, and the fact that, even though the original the building in question here has since been demolished, and they probably have found a new place somewhere in another part of Kyoto, hopefully with better security, obviously. But, it's good, have a nice monument. So, before I go on, let's see if anybody's commented on it yet. Nope, it doesn't look like it. All right. That article, of course, kind of went quick, which I guess shouldn't be too surprising, considering that. considering that. Sentai Filmworks completely botches English localization of 2.5 dimensional seduction anime. Article by Nerdigans Inc. So we're going to move right into the next article published yesterday. All right, so after its actual visuals were toned down by its animation studio, JC Staff, 2.5 dimensional seduction has had its English localization completely butchered by Sentai Filmworks. Now, mind you, for those of you who don't know what localization means, basically it's their dubbing, or it's the dubbing, of the anime. Prior to the anime's broadcast, Western fans were forewarned of 2.5 dimensional seduction's inevitable English mishandling when notorious localizer Katrina Leonodakis announced earlier this month that the cosplay ecchi anime would be her next masterpiece. Katrina is one of the things that's been talked about a lot, and I know there have been a few people who brought this up. Apparently, Katrina is one of these localizers who will, unfortunately, input their own ideological spin on things instead of just translating it for what it was. People and then people like her wonder why people don't want to have people like her dub these anymore when they're like when a lot of times the thing is that when you dub them or you subtitle them, you do take away from it, take away from what the original creator intended. So, quote, so excited to be working on this one, unquote, tweeted the localizer, quote, the anime itself is what they call a cosplay ecchi anime. So there's cosplay is, of course, when you kind of, you wear the costumes of your favorite, characters from anime and all that. Ecchi, usually has some type of, kind of flirtatious connotation to it usually. But anyways, quote, as an ex-competitive cosplayer who's still very much involved with the current competitive cosplay scene, it's so much fun getting to work on a series that takes sexy cosplay seriously. Oh yeah. I guess that's supposed to be Katrina right there. After going through the anime's first 3 episodes, Bounding into Comics has discovered that the Sentai Filmworks localizer has deliberately overwritten the series' original script in favor of their own fan fiction. I wonder what that's supposed to mean. Well, I guess we'll find out in a moment here. Within the first 5 minutes of the 2.5 dimensional seduction anime's first episode, the localizer had already replaced Yu Hashimoto's script with her abridged version of events. The first altered scene in question sees series protagonist Masamune Okumura's reading to the surprise appearance of Doragonist and 3D girl Lilisa Amano appearing in the manga club room. So these are, I guess, some of the panels from the manga. And they're talking more about the anime, of course, but let's see what they did with the manga here. So, if you're looking for the brass band club, it's the one next door. Yo, you're coming in? Oh. Yeah. This is the manga. I really love manga. My name's Amano Lilisa. I'm a first year. Now, in Japanese, of course, the family name goes before the surname, just for those of you who don't. Per a fan translation of the series, which will be used as the point of reference for our comparisons, as Seven Seas translation had its own problems, in parentheses. Upon discovering Lalisa is interested in manga, a shocked Okamura thinks to himself, quote, a girl? Damn it. Don't girls only like shoujo manga? Shoujo is, of course, manga that's basically written for young women, young girls. This is a sanctuary. This is a sanctuary for manly desires. Women and popular guys shouldn't like my weird otaku lifestyle. What kind of reasons does she have to be here? So I don't think he's not saying this aloud, mind you. This is all going on in his head. In Leonidaki's localization, however, Okamura is portrayed as much more reactionary and sexist, declaring instead, quote, this club is for ASS and titties, all right, and the guys who love them. Yeah, I bet she only liked shoujo bullcrap, quote unquote. Oh yeah, so this is the subtitle they're talking about, of course. And again, the problem when they do this kind of thing is they're taking away from the original intent of the author in this too. You know, again, I would often want to, anytime I'd cover this, right? I'd want to, if I could in some way, and I know there'd be a bit of a language barrier because I know maybe just proper names and titles in Japanese, and I'm sure that the creator of this particular series probably doesn't know a whole lot of English either. But one of the things I would ask them is, haven't you heard of some of these people who are just butchering your works? Who are just sitting there, just totally rewriting your material. But anyways, as we get back again, feel free to comment and or ask questions if and I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. In turn, Okamura resolves, quote, no way am I letting some girl ruin my secret sexy sanctuary. I'll come up with some excuse to get her out of here, unquote. The alternative continues as Lalisa proceeds to check out the limited edition Lilio figures on the clubroom's shelves. Taken aback by her interest in the figures, in the manga, Okamura questions himself, quote, hold up, that figure isn't just some cute doll. It's a limited, in smaller quotes, undressing edition of an erotic figure. It could help me drive her away if she sees it. However, unfortunately for him, Lalisa ends up activating the figure's stripping function. Okay. In turn, the otaku concludes himself, quote, it's understandable this isn't something girls can handle, unquote. And yet, if you look at the so I think what a lot of people are complaining about here in terms of Katrina's rendition, her localization, is they're basically trying to paint this guy in the worst possible light. Again, it's another man hating interpretation of the material, right? It's a man hating interpretation of the material. Um, Meanwhile, under Leonodakis, or uh, Leon Dokis, care, the unnecessarily sexist anime version of Okamura instead exclaims, quote, "Jackpot, those aren't your sister's baby dolls. No, ma'am. That's a limited edition strippable figure," unquote. Quote, now she'll get it, unquote, he convinces himself. Quote, "She'll know she doesn't belong here," unquote. Next up is the scene wherein Lisa both reveals her collection of erotic cosplay photos and convinces to Okamura that she would like to create a similar set of her own. So apparently, what he's finding out here is that, she is kind of into this stuff, despite the fact she's a girl, you know. In the fan translation, a shocked Okamura, a um, a piece of Lalisa's collection in hand, inquires, "Do you wear stuff like this?" Unquote. To which she seductively inquires, quote, "Senpai, do you not want to?" Unquote. Oh boy. I would say that in the fan translation, they're almost making a suggestion that maybe she's trying, I don't know. There's another, I'm kind of reminded a little bit here in terms of their interaction of an anime I'm watching right now called "Don't Toy with Me, Miss Nagatoro," which basically had, "Hey Rick, thanks for dropping in here. If you haven't already, if you can like and share this thing, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated." Anyways, yeah, so um yeah, in that one you have kind of a younger student trying to, like, taking an interest in their older classmate, what they call the senpai. Um in the anime, rather than simply checking back in with Okamura's shocked feelings, Lisa instead presumes that her new friend is looking down on her interest, pushing back, quote, "Didn't you just say you wouldn't judge?" And unsurprisingly, the problem continues. Yeah, so I can see their point here. Katrina, wherein it was probably in the original version a lot more innocent, a lot more playful. Here, it's almost like Katrina is purposely trying to make it confrontational in a way where, okay, trying to paint the guy in the worst possible light and the girl in the best possible light, just to do so. And unsurprisingly, the problem continues on into Two and a Half Dimensional Seduction's second episode. When new student Mikari Tachibana arrives for her first day of class, she's immediately mobbed by her classmates, many of whom want an autograph from the model. I guess this is from the translation of the original panel here. Let's see. She's a goddess. No mere human could have such a face. She looks just like a doll. Look at those legs. Oh, bleep, man, that's Tachibana Mikari. It's actually her. Who else wants one? That's all right. So, me too. Me too, please. Really? Let's see. Could I please have your autograph? Are you an idiot? What the hell are you doing? Uh, in the manga, some of the girls in the class can be heard gossiping about Mikari's supposedly, quote, in small quotes, uncouth reputation. Um, Quote, she's dating the model Keikun. Um, she's the worst, unquote, says one, with her friend dismissively replying, quote, no way. I heard she was getting hot and heavy with an actor the other day. Ugh, what a slut. So basically, I guess in Katrina, of course, you can't have a nice model girl. No, you automatically have to assume that she's just some slut. Yeah, that's cool, and that's me being sarcastic, of course. Sentai Filmworks anime localization not only removes the majority of the second girl's dialogue, but also changes the context of the second girl's sentence. Her crude judgment instead replaced envious lucky her. Oh, so actually the original was them being nasty towards her, jealous, and I guess in the localization they toned it down. It looks like another butchering occurs right at the second episode's conclusion. At one point during the manga, Mikari attempts to put the moves on Okamura, her childhood friend. However, whether through social awkwardness or his love for his fictional waifu, Lilio, Yotaku ends up missing her cues. Instead, ushers her out in favor of her next appointment, a photo shoot with Lilisa. Of his next appointment, a photo shoot with Lilisa. To this end, while the latter contemplating the feelings for Okamura, she catches a glimpse of Lilisa entering the manga club room, prompting her to fear she has romantic competition. The series, if depending upon what they did with the dub, sounds like it could be pretty good. But if Katrina wrote the script for the dub as well, I would not hold my breath. Sounds very interesting, to say the least. However, in a bit of dramatic irony, the reader can see Okamura telling a flustered Lilisa to not worry about arriving late, in doing so simply telling her, quote, let's get started with the shoot right away, unquote, implying that he didn't consider his interaction with Mikari to be anything more than 100% platonic. Oh, here we go. Here, let's see. Thanks for waiting, Senpai. I'm really sorry. A woman? Don't start stripping so suddenly. Okay, let's get started with the shoot right away. Who? Anyhow, it's nothing. Is there something wrong? Senpai? But in the anime, Okamura instead stutters, quote, don't apologize for timing. Your timing is perf. I don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Unquote. His innocence in the situation replaced with an active recognition that his activities are less than above the line. Again, Katrina man-hating, trying to vilify the guy here. It only gets worse in 2.5 dimensional seduction anime's third episode, Lily Mary, which of course the X it acts almost like a uh, uh, a punctuation mark, I guess you could say. That is the Me Too movement we need. uh, Anyways, getting ready to get back to the article here. As always, guys, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer the questions to the best of I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So with that being said, let's continue on with the article. The scene in question starts with Okamura's knockout reaction to Mikari and Lalisa in their new homemade um, Nililela and Lilio costumes. Realizing that Okamura has at least partial eyes for Mililela um, attempts to have Okamura notice her by posing in an even more risque pose that shows off her butt. Um, from there, asking, quote, "How is it? Do you like it?" So you don't, man? Ah, he looked more shocked than anything else. Stunned by her similarity to the actual character of Milela, Okamura assertively praises, quote, of course I like it. um, Met with this praise, Mikari proceeds to admit, quote, I've loved Senpai for 10 years, 10 whole years. And in Japan, you do get a lot of that. You do get a lot of these, you start out with as childhood friends, childhood crushes, and then it builds to something more later. That's the first time he said he likes me, unquote, therein recognizing that while the otaku did show her affection, it was more towards her cosplay than her actual person. But in the anime's localization, rather than offering the simple phrase, allowing Mikari to read too much into it, Leonodakis um, instead has him blurt out the far more direct and far more loaded statement, quote, hell yeah, I love you. Again, the change in dialogue there basically changes the meaning of the interaction, right? the first one was more innocent. Here, it's almost like more direct, you know. But the changing of the dialogue, as I said, changes the nature of the interaction, which in turn changes the original intent of what the author had in mind for the situation. So, continuing on with the article here, like with the above gag regarding Mikari's confession, thanks to this change, Okamura is now portrayed as less, quote, too polite for his own good, in smaller quotes, and more intentionally stupid. Which, of course, again, a man-hating localizer here. Right? Trying to just paint men in the most horrific of manners here. As of writing, neither Sentai Filmworks nor Leonodakis have offered any comment on the changes made to 2.5 Seduction's English subtitles. Anyways, so let's see where we're at now on time. That one, we got it. Wow, we're already at the 47-minute mark. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's good then. We actually got through a considerable amount of time here. So I'm going to move on to the wrestling wrap-up now, as it were. So first up, let's look back to last night's Monday Night Raw. We talk a little bit about what went down on last night's Monday Night Raw here. So on last night's Monday Night Raw, the show opened up with the Creed brothers defeating Akira Tozawa and Otis of Alpha Academy, as that feud continues to go down on Raw. Bronson Reed defeated Sheamus in 10 minutes. Jey Uso defeated Carlito. Karrion Kross with Paul Ellering with other members of other members of the Final Testament in his corner defeated Xavier Woods. Sami Zayn in a match before his upcoming title defense this Saturday against Braun Breaker defeated Dominic Mysterio by DQ. Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, and Zoe Stark defeated Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, and Lyria Valkyrie. And then Gunther in the main event defeated Finn Balor, as Gunther once again, gained some momentum heading into his upcoming title match against Damian Priest this Saturday. Now, in AEW news, of course, there's some speculation that Daniel Garcia may be on his way out, as he was written off TV recently, having suffered an attack at the hands of MJF. Now, this attack was to get him off TV because they didn't want him involved in any storylines, because his contract is supposedly due up at sometime before the end of the year. They didn't want to get him deeply involved in any, if he wasn't going to re-sign. There's a lot of back and forth speculation as to whether or not he's going to re-sign with AEW, or if he's going to try greener pastures elsewhere. Time will only tell on that. And with all that being said, of course, coming up on tomorrow's Dynamite, which will be coming to everybody from the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. There'll be an CMLL World Women's title eliminator match in which the champion Willow Nightingale will answer the challenge of Chris Statlander. Now, an eliminator match, as I've explained before, is a match in which you basically wrestle to try to earn a shot at the title. So if Statlander wins this match, she'll get a title shot at the CMLL World Women's Championship at some later point. If she loses, then she out of contention for the foreseeable future. We'll wait to see what. And of course, again, there'll be continual build, going towards Wembley, coming off of his international title loss, and in preparation for his rematch at All In later, on August 25th. Will Ospreay will be taking on Lance Archer. Archer looking to eliminate Ospreay and go after the title himself, which, of course, MJF has since rechristened the American Championship. Roderick Strong teams with Roosh and the Beast Mortis to take on the conglomeration of Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe, former international champion Orange Cassidy, and the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii, and then Adam Page will be taking on Darby Allin. And with that being said, now let's talk a little bit about what's going to be going on tonight's NWA Power. On the CW app. Oops. Kind of goof there. All right, so on tonight's Power, as soon as I find it. On tonight's Power, one of the matches featured on tonight's Power will have Maxie Impaler defending the NWA World Women's Television title against former Pretty Empowered member Ella Envy. So that's coming up tonight on. But with that, that's all I have for you guys for the wrestling wrap up, as it were. So now let's get ready to wind things down by getting into this day in each history. History! All right, so with that, let's talk a little. So now let's so today being Tuesday, July 30th, let's take a look back at this day. Each history. So 64, 49. Let's see, in 99. All right, first off, we're going to head back 75 years ago today. As on this date, 75 years ago today, back in 1949, the MGM cartoon show, as directed by legendary director Tex Avery, Doggone Tired, premiered in movie theaters on this date back in 1949. It has since it's one of 3 MGM cartoons that is currently in public domain, and I've seen this one a lot. It's a classic. Basically, Speedy is a dog, and basically who loves to hunt rabbits. He and his owner, come to a cabin to prepare to go hunting rabbits. He's all ready to go right then and there, but it's kind of late at night, so his owner reminds him that, hey, you need to get a good night's sleep if we want to catch rabbits. And so you have a good chunk of the short, this rabbit who he's going to try to catch in the morning, doing everything he can to keep him awake, keep him getting a good night's sleep, so he won't be able to catch him. Only they ultimately both get tired out and end up sleeping in the rabbit's, hole together. So 75 years ago today, the MGM short, Doggone Tired, premiered in movie theaters. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next piece of niche history here. So we move ahead to 1964. As on this date in 1964 was the first issue of Gold Key's Buck Rogers in the 25th century. So this book ran for a little while. So on this day, the story was The Space Slavers, written by Paulus Newman and with art by Ray Bailey. So on this date, 60 years ago today, the first issue of Buck Rogers in the 25th century from Gold Key. Not necessarily the first time that Buck Rogers has been adapted into comic form. This is Gold Key's adaptation. Gold Key had kind of taken over the idea from Dell when Dell decided to shut down. So anyways, moving on to the final piece of niche history as we head to 1999. As on this date in 1999, which was of course 25 years ago today, TMS Entertainment's Lupin III: The Columbus Files premiered was a special that premiered on Japanese TV on this date 25 years ago today. So on this date 25 years ago today, the TMS Entertainment special Lupin III: The Columbus Files premiered on Japanese television on this date back in 1999, 25 years ago today. So with that, I thank everybody for being here, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.